I started recording
You,
like 5 minutes
the
ago.
viewer, are watching right now the most incredible interview you have ever seen. Folks, they're going to be talking about this one for years.
Oh,
Because it's me, baby. We're cooking it. Let's run it up.
All right. Welcome, Izumoo, to your interview.
Pleasure to be here.
The greatest interview, from what I've heard.
I've been hearing that from people in the street. I didn't really want to say it, but I've been hearing that already. I've been hearing some whispers.
Right. I mean, I guess. We'll certainly have to see how the video does, according to that.
Sure. Gotta leave that up to the algo, but I'm just talking about what I'm hearing.
Izumoo, I would love to know, why did you originally say yes?
In a social situation, I am a clown. So I love to run a bit, and I also love people who are willing to put a situation out there so that you can just interface and make something happen, right? People who like create a scenario for people to yes and, I think is a lot of fun, and I think it's also very cool to meet people that way. Because there's a lot of people who you can run a bit with, and complete strangers, right? And you're ideally at the end of the day, right? You're not trying to be an ass. You're just trying to make friends, or maybe make a joke for yourself and some buddies. So there's really no harm as long as you're not doing it maliciously. And I didn't really sense like a malicious intent here. I just thought, hey, this is a friend of a friend. This is a mutual thing. This scenario sounds like it's pretty funny to yes and. And so I just said yes.
Yes, and now what? ERP?
And now I'm here, apparently. I'm going to be honest. I really didn't foresee it going anywhere, ever. I just kind of said yes while we were fishing, and I was like, you know what? So true. Like, and then you DM me on Discord. You're like, hey, let's get a tattoo. I'm like, okay. I guess I'm doing that now.
And now you're locked in.
And now here I am.
It's kind of funny how a lot of the ones that didn't expect me to continue the bit, like when I would show up in their worlds or request off of them, and then I go up to them and I say, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? They're like, oh, we're still doing this.
Peeking behind the curtain, I was like that earlier today.
You were.
So, a little bit of inside baseball for the camera, but I was like, oh, we're still doing this. I see. That's fine. We'll run it up as long as it's good.
It is absolutely a bit. I can assure you of that. Although
I feel assured.
At the very least, I'm a very lovable guy, you know, in the sense that not people love me, but I love the love. So obviously,
sure, nothing better in the world.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what it's all about, baby. You just gotta love while you have the opportunity to love. You only get one spin on this bitch of an earth. You might as well love people while you can.
I wanted to hit certain fandoms, I guess you could say, because my body is kind of covered in a lot of them. And
sure.
As time went on, I managed to hit the fandoms that I wanted. For example, Ruby was definitely one of them. I wanted something from zombies. I wanted an anime. And I hit them all. But I was afraid that, like, closer to the end, I wouldn't find someone that had an interest in Sonic the Hedgehog. and then you came along. You reassured.
I just had no idea. I was just like, what's a thing that's like it's a compact symbol, right? Can't really be misconstrued, but it's still hyped. So I went with the emblem, which here on your arm. A bit awkward for the camera, maybe, but so that is actually a edit I did of a sprite from a fan game, Sonic Roboblast 2, based on the Doom engine, and that's just because My original plan was I was going to say, oh, Sonic Adventure emblem, that's great. But then you look at the Sonic Adventure emblems actually in the game, and all of them are hitting the DreamWorks smile in this pose, which is like, that's great. I love that. It's cheesy as shit. I feel like putting Sonic's whole ass mug on your arm is not optimal. And so instead I went for, it's still an emblem, it still tells the story, it's still discernibly Sonic, if you know. But in this case, it's just from a Doom fan game from like 2001 and not 1999's smash blockbuster hit Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast.
Which is a mouthful.
Which, you know, of course. But it is the full name, and I will say it. Right, it's kind of like there's like heathens in this world who say, oh, I play Melee instead of Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube released November 1st, 2001. Like that's the game you're playing. Let's be 100. Like you gotta say the whole shit, or people have no idea what you're talking about. I chose it specifically because it was off the dome. A hobby I have. I'm a really big fan of game randomizers. So if you've ever heard of Archipelago, it's a system where you can put in games with mods or little patches, and it randomizes the game. And this talks to a server. And you can play with multiple people, and it sends items and randomizes your game in any way or order. I am a addict who needs to go to rehab for playing the Sonic Adventure randomizer this way. Because that game randomized is so much fun. It's great puzzle solving. So like I know how to speedrun the game pretty good at this point. I've done it, I don't even know how many times, but like, as soon as you throw the randomization element into it, and it has logic, so you can't ever get stuck, but some of the problems might need to come about strangely. You might need to do some kind of weird extra routing that you wouldn't have to think about. And so you have to, like, what's the most optimal way, out of things I have, to do that now, right? So I love that shit, and so the emblem choice. That was a long-form explanation off of just simply your opener, but I hope we kind of got to why we picked that in that case.
So, before we stray too far from the topic of your tattoo, for the next question, I'm very curious to know, if you were to change this tattoo, would you change it at all?
I haven't really come up with a better answer for something. I guess I have one, but it's like, it would be like a real tattoo design, right? And I think, honestly, it would be less... I love floral patterns. Flowers, particularly, are awesome. I'm a big fan of the design of the state flower of Alaska, actually, the forget-me-not, which is a lovely light blue flower. It's very small in real life, but it's very appealing looking. I think it's got a great shade. The problem I think I would have would be I wouldn't have like the design of one that I would really want to have if this was going to be like, oh, this is like a billboard for somebody's personality, right? I'm not an artist. I'm not going to have a good way of that. And so if I go into like wikipedia.org and I give you a whole ass cube of a high resolution picture of a flower in the ground in Alaska somewhere, it's probably not going to look very good. So I would say that would be my alternate design if I had a choice. That would like be reasonable. But honestly, I think this tells a story on its own that I am a weirdo, and I think that gets it across pretty good. So I'll stick with it.
I like it too. It's hilarious because I think some people have mistaken it for Captain America.
I could see that. That would make sense.
But
we did go for specifically the less Sonic version of that. So
right. Yeah.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, you might not be able to gauge properly due to our a lack of time spent with each other thus far. But I'm sure we'll get there. We'll get there over time. But
sure.
Going into this, despite it being a bit, as I've said before, I love to love. And I love to offer love, especially to the people that I consider worthy of receiving it. So my goal throughout this whole bit was to offer all of my husbands and wives as much love as humanly possible. and to hype them up, to make them feel loved, like I'm a safe space for them. And within the short amount of time that we've spent so far, would you say I've accomplished that?
Yeah, I'd say so. We had a pretty good time earlier, and we bullshitted before when we interacted in other social settings. So, yeah, I would say that.
Okay, cool. I hope to keep that up then. Yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
So I have a question for you, and I would hope that you have a question for the next partner.
I've got one off the top of my head. Yeah,
oh,
sure.
Okay. All right. Well, perfect. Let me hit you with the question first, and then you can return fire. It is simply your favorite video game of all time.
Oh wow, that's kind of that's hard because there's a lot of different genres from which to pull that answer from that would be very distinct. I could give some like lame sauce answers for sure. I'm pretty goated at that, I think. But I recently did a 3x3, so like pick 9 of your favorite games of all time, and then I looked at the list and I said, "Wow, these are nothing to do with each other," but they're like they all touched me in some way that I think was valuable, right? So I could say Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, was it was like eye-opening, like incredible story, punched you in the gut, really just loved that cinematic angle. And I also learned that Hideo Kojima is a psychopath, so that's pretty cool. But like it was a game that I did, and it was like one of those ones that you play, and I was like, it opened my eyes to this as an art medium. That like this is like the way that this existed only could exist this way. I thought it was beautiful. Celeste is definitely on there.
How about this?
Sure.
The video game that made you either pull your hands away from the keyboard or set your controller down, and you held your hands up in the absolute cinema.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Okay.
The Outer Wilds.
Oh, wow! I unfortunately haven't finished that yet, but I have played a little bit of it.
I think the beauty of the Outer Wilds is that it is such an experience that I will never be able to play it and live it again. And it's such that the entire game is the beauty of learning, the beauty of exploration, the beauty of creativity and curiosity, and the experience of a human being to want to learn. And I think the problem solving is so unique in such a great way, because you can only learn to play the game once, and once you know, the game is never the same. But that was beautiful to me. That brought me that was like to tears. Like you play through and you get to the ending and you see what it all was, and you're like, wow, that experience was something I will never forget. So yeah, I think that's my answer.
Wow, a good answer. I'd have to say. I guess I gotta.
Maybe you go somewhere else.
Maybe it's a 6-7.
Maybe you hit 6-7 just out in the middle, or in the middle of a conversation, because I'm like a robot or some shit.
God, I hate it so much. I hate 6-7. I had to get a 67th husband or wife. But,
It's I dodged that. I could have. I kind of got sandwiched, and
Yeah,
I was told I was 69, but then I was actually 68. But I could have been 67th. So actually, I'm in like the no man's land,
right?
Where I'm like, what's my purpose? What am I fighting for?
For me to love you. That's your purpose.
No, we need more than that. We need 68 to be a number for something. We need to get there. If it's like a reference to, I don't know. It's like a really good I don't know.
68.
I don't. Just 68. So we'll workshop it. It's fine.
Well, we'll come back to it. If I see anything, I'll let you know. You'll be the first in it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So,
Until then, I'll be like kind of feeling worthless about not being 69 or like it's cool. It's what.
Anyway, you said you had a question locked and loaded there.
Sure. I mean, this is my my go-to question, and it's going to be long. So you're going to hate me for how long this is.
Okay.
Because
I'll
it
try my
does
best.
require a setup, and also the question sucks ass. But I would love your answer to it too.
Oh.
This is my go-to icebreaker question when I'm in some kind of like socialization setting. You should be like, yeah, throw this out here. So
Okay.
here's how it goes. You must pick one. You cannot pick both. You cannot pick neither. You cannot kill yourself. You are going to the grocery store. You need to buy Pop-Tarts. Are you getting brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts or s'mores Pop-Tarts?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the question.
I'm getting s'mores Pop-Tarts without a doubt.
We might need a divorce. There is a correct answer to that question. It is brown sugar cinnamon, but like
Is this your favorite Pop-Tart and your least favorite Pop-Tart?
No. Neither of them are like particularly special to me. I've found through science, very scientific methods, that these two Pop-Tarts for some reason are incredibly polarizing. If you're put between the option of both, I've had like 50% on each. And I've been doing this for years. Complete strangers, many settings, many different situations. It's always 50-50. You're either in s'mores or you're in brown sugar cinnamon. I don't get why. I will say it's kind of like a perfect, you can immediately, hey, brown sugar cinnamon up top. We're s'mores. Fuck you. It's a good banter source, and leading it in also with you can't kill yourself as part of the question is also like
crazy.
a phenomenal like, whoa, all right, so this is big stakes, and it's about Pop-Tarts. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I didn't expect the moment you said grocery store, I was like, are you sure my life was on the line?
Oh, and I've just had people tell me when I say that they can't pick both, they can't pick neither, they're instead of
Right.
picking. And so I have to add that to the rules. Because I need to preempt people from doing it. Like it's
Right.
come up too many times when people don't want to play in the space. Bro, I'm asking you the question to play in the space. Let's play in the space. Pick one of the Pop-Tarts. If you gave me a damn choice, I'm picking the fucking like the wild berry ones. They're damn good.
Yeah.
But that's my question. I hope whoever answers it next knows what's the correct answer.
Could I potentially save myself here from maybe finding disappointment, finding your disappointment in my answer?
You may attempt such, yes.
So, I don't often toast Pop-Tarts. In fact, if I'm to enjoy a Pop-Tart, I usually just pull it right out of the package and start eating it. However, s'mores Pop-Tarts, as well as one other, which is the cookies and cream, those are the only two Pop-Tarts that I will ever put in the toaster.
I think that's fair. It's pretty good if you put it in a toaster. And that's why the question's ambiguous, is there is the toaster question. Because people will answer differently based on that, which is another variable in making it 50-50. So like...
You can't kill yourself. You need to toast this Pop-Tart.
No, we can't. We cannot preload toasting them. Because as soon as you do, you're implying that you want s'mores. But it's a Rorschach test for the other person. They are reading back the question in their mind palace, and that is where they have determined whether or not they're toasted, because that's their lived experience.
Well, what was the other
Now
one?
they give it back to you.
Brown sugar?
It's brown sugar cinnamon or s'mores. You're not gonna. If you say it's toasted Pop-Tart, you're always gonna say s'mores. Let's keep it 110.
Right. Yeah, no, of course.
So if you leave it ambiguous, though,
but between those two, though, rather, I don't think I've ever put a brown sugar cinnamon into the toaster before, because I feel like I've only eaten it once. So,
yeah. I mean,
who knows? Maybe my
it's
answer.
the. I'm waking up in like a hotel at like a convention somewhere, and I'm just like, damn, I don't want to. I missed breakfast downstairs. Good thing I got brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tart. And you go nom 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 like a Roblox item, and you're good like for hours. It's pretty awesome. Yup, you know. How are you gonna play in the space in this Pop Tart universe that I've created for you? And see what happens. I don't really care either way. Personally, I'm brown sugar cinnamon, but I understand why you would go s'mores. I'll just like frown at you forever, and like we might need a divorce. But like that's these things happen.
Well, I suppose that leads me into the final question that I have for you, which is, do you want to stay married?
Sure.
Okay.
I have now hung out with you twice, and now we're in an interview session. But like, sure, why not? Like, what else am I fucking doing? Like,
sure, why the hell not?
You're pretty fucking fun, so sure, let's do it.
Okay, cool. I flip it on to you. Do you have any questions for me? Oh.
I do, as a matter of fact. And so,
should I speak into this?
You may speak into this. Just we'll lead up.
All right.
Welcome. I hope you've had a lovely interview so far. 'Cause I've had a lovely.
I think it's pretty great. I love it.
I think this has been a fantastic time. How did you decide who to approach for this whole extended shenanigans? Was it strictly just those who responded to the da-dum? Or did you have like a rubric where you were like, hey, I'm not going to ask this person?
That's a fantastic question. And I've definitely answered this question multiple times before on previous interviews, but I love answering this question.
So like I'll fuck myself. It's fine. Like,
no, I've never had a microphone in front of my face, though, so that makes it a little different.
I'm actually not going to hold this for every question, but at least this one.
There is a very strong dependent on what makes my decision final, and that is first and foremost. It is usually the name. And your name was very interesting to me. I found it like satisfying to say in my mind, and then I said it out loud, and I thought it was pretty good. But aside from names, I also really enjoy the look of someone, like the look of their avatar. And you, for example, you created this, so that already awarded you with some brownie points as well, because you put in the effort to make your own avatar, which I definitely respect. And then, of course, the third reason, and quite possibly the most important one, is my intuition. I'd like to think that I have a very, very good intuition when it comes to these things. And every single person, every 69, or every person in the 69, I'm glad I made the decision to ask them.
Nice. I think that's a fantastic answer. And I wasn't sure if it was just like this person said yes, let's keep them in, but like I think that all makes sense. And also, I'm honored that you like the username.
Oh,
thank you.
I was going to ask you about that actually. That's one of the questions that I forgot to ask was how you came up with your name.
Oh wow! it's a so I had a computer that I was using at school, and I am especially at the time, I was a big fan of cheesy early 2000s anime. And I was a big fan of, if you're familiar with Lucky Star.
I'm very familiar.
So, Konoha Izumoo.
Okay.
Yes, you get it. Konada Izumi is like the main character. She's really funny. I think she's a great character archetype. I just think she's written well. She's just, it's interesting. Which was like, it defines like 2003 internet. Like, you know, like this kind of like era in time. 2000, like in the 2000s, right? I think it's pretty fun. So I just had as a username, it was Izumi on this computer. And there's somebody who is in my class, Izumoo. Just like it's not like a word that he would have heard at all. And the word is in front of him and he said it wrong. And it was just so immensely funny to me of hollering this across the room in front of a whole bunch of people. And so, you know, you could do the one way where you say, oh, Izumu, like there's like in Shinto tradition, right? There's an Izumu there. Or you can be silly and you can make it Moo, M-O-O, and it won't be taken on like any websites because who comes up with that? And so I just went with that. And here we are. That's Izumu.
Wow, that's pretty funny. From your rather, how would I say, refined look, a very kind of like a book smart. You look like you're very passive and calm, and then you tell me that your name was inspired by a rather chaotic character in anime. Pretty funny.
I just appreciated her. Like I was like, oh, you know,
yeah.
kind of silly, but you know, like the passage of time stops for nobody, right? We walk forward and we say, you know what?
Absolutely.
Actually, I love Wikipedia.org. And then you're just like, you know what? Reading's badass, actually. And then you're like, damn it, cardigans rule. Hold on, and they start adding up, and you're just like, that's the vibe.
It is. I do like it. The color is very like they clash so well with each other. Like it's a very nice outfit to look at. So
thank you.
10 points.
I like the earthy tones. I think are phenomenal. And I think as a society, we need to get back to cool, earthy tones. I have one last question for you as part of our incredible interview.
Please ask me.
If I were to like ask you to like subliminally put a detail in the video and just really small, or maybe it's like translucent somewhere, would you do it for this interview?
Throughout the entire interview?
Maybe we put it in like a part of the interview, and like me talking about it now might drive somebody crazy to like scroll through the video.
Okay. Do you want to like? Yeah,
we'll come up with something. I love like a fucked up gimmick like that. I think that kicks ass. And like I don't know what the viewer can see on this camera angle. Like maybe it's just like something appears on the shelf behind me, or maybe we like edit in something on the shelf that was not actually here. Like I'm just gonna say out loud, there's nothing on the shelf now. And if you're seeing otherwise in the video footage, then Eric's pretty good at editing. Like the whole time this has been empty. So
my question for
we're gonna leave like sure.
Do you want me to cut this part where you request this?
No.
You want to leave this in?
It's way funnier if they know, but cut out the part that is like whatever version we don't go with. You don't leave that in, but leave in conspicuously the instructions for whatever thing did happen, because as the viewer it might be funny. And if it's not funny, then why are we doing it?
I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
There we go.
Okay. Well, is that all you had for me then? Final question.
That's all I've got.
Well, in that case, I then allow you to share with the YouTubes whatever you please.
Hello, YouTube. I hope you found this maybe entertaining. You should watch other videos on this channel from virtual reality chat user Elite Eric. I do not have a threatening message behind the camera telling me to say this right now. And I hope you have a lovely day. Also,
Yeah,
twitch.tv/Izumoo.
No, shout yourself out.
No, don't worry about it.